President Obama orders a review of security after an attempt to blow up a transatlantic flight. This is the face of the Nigerian man charged with the Christmas Day attack. The drama on the plane, passengers describe how the bomber was stopped.
Some people started to scream, "Fire, fire!" And at that moment, I was like, "Oh my God, this is wrong!" You know? And I without hesitation, I just made myself over there, jumped over some people.
Protests and violent clashes in Iran. Reports of 9 dead, including a nephew of the opposition leader. An olive branch to the Lib Dems. David Cameron's New Year message. And Arsenal subs sink Aston Villa to keep their title hopes afloat. Good evening. Barack Obama has ordered a review of security after an attempt to blow up a transatlantic flight on Christmas Day. A Nigerian man who'd spent 3 years as a student in London has been charged with trying to destroy the Northwest Airlines flight from Amsterdam before it landed in Detroit. Umar Farouk Abdul-Muttalib was on a US security watch list. Andy Gallagher is in Detroit for us tonight. Andy.
Well, there is a sense here tonight that people are on edge given the events of the past 2 days. President Barack Obama has now ordered a full review of airline security, and there are already some pretty tough restrictions in place. It seems that for now, travel here may never be the same again.
This blurry picture shows the moment that Omar Farouk Abdul-Muttalib was led from the plane that he's accused of trying to destroy. The 23-year-old was on a terror watch list. His father had even warned US authorities about his extreme views. But he was still allowed to board Flight 253 bound for Detroit. One of the passengers who helped stop the alleged attack described what happened.
Other people were also trying to stamp on the fire. People were kind of panicking. And so we were screaming for water. And we got some water, but it wasn't enough. And then so we took the suspect out of the chair and we grabbed him by his neck just to make sure, because we didn't know if he had any other explosives.
What was prevented here appears to have been a disturbing new attempt to bring down a passenger plane. The authorities believe that Abdul-Muttalib was carrying 2 elements of an explosive device. A pack of high explosives moulded to his body and hidden by his underwear, and a syringe that, when it was injected, would detonate the device. And today, a sign of just how on edge people are. Another emergency landing and another flight searched. The US Homeland Security Secretary did her best to reassure the traveling public.
There was simply, throughout the law enforcement community, never information that would put this individual on a no-fly list or a selectee list. So that's number one. Number two, I think the important thing to recognize here is that once this incident occurred, everything happened that should have.
And there are now more details emerging about this young Nigerian who'd spent time in the UK, first as a visiting student and then later living and studying in London. Mike Rimmer taught him history in West Africa and says he seemed supportive of the Taliban in class discussions.
Umar actually thought that their ideas were the correct interpretation of Islam. But I thought maybe, you know, in the class discussions, maybe he was just sort of plain devil's advocate to sort of keep the discussion going.
According to his lawyer, Abdul-Muttalib has now been moved from the hospital here to a local federal prison.
Now, we're being told that the suspect himself won't appear in court tomorrow. He's already been charged with trying to bring that passenger plane down. But the question that still hasn't been answered is how a man allegedly carrying explosives managed to get on board a US-bound flight.
Andy, thank you very much.